Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us at the Microsoft Power BI UK user group. I'm your host, Leon Gordon, and as always, we're back with another fantastic session to come together as a group and learn more about Power BI as a community. Obviously, I'm back with my fantastic MVP fellow co-host, Pragati. Pragati, how are you doing today?
Oh, great. Just trying to fix some problems for a client, but yeah, I'm doing
This is
great.
this is the joys of consulting, isn't it?
Exactly. So yeah, I've literally spent like 2 hours on the same problem, still no solution to it. So yeah, great day for me so far.
The problem is you'll walk away and come back to it, and you'll have that eureka moment.
Yeah, I think tomorrow morning that eureka moment will come for me.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'm sure it
Yeah.
will. Outside of that, how's your week been so far?
Oh yeah, it's been pretty busy so far because yeah, this current client is keeping me too busy. But yeah, it's kind of interesting project, learning something new. So yeah, I'm still
Excellent.
positive I'll figure out the issue and solve it.
Oh, 100%, and
How has it been for you?
very busy. It seems that even though we're getting towards the summer months, we seem to be getting busier. Normally, we start to see a bit of a slowdown with holidays, etc. Hopefully,
Yeah,
fingers crossed, holidays
yeah.
in terms of train strikes and airports being closed down, etc. Fingers crossed, we can actually
Are
get away
you
this year.
planning something as a? I mean, are you going in next few days? Right, you're going somewhere. You're on holiday.
At the end of July, hopefully.
You're flying, right? Not taking trains.
Yes, fingers crossed, we'll be
Cool.
flying.
Then you're safe.
Excellent, excellent. And hopefully we've got some worldwide users with us today. So as you can see on the banner, if you let us know where you're joining us from, that would be fantastic. Okay, so with that being said, like I say, we want this to be a very interactive session. So please do feel free to ask questions throughout. Like I say, let us know where you're joining us from. That would be great. I'm just going to go into a bit of detail around today's session and introduce our speaker as well. So joining us from, that would be great today. Today we're going to be looking at exploring Power BI embed capabilities with Temidayo. So Temidayo, I'll just add you to the stream. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
Interactive session. Hi, fantastic to see you. Thank you very much for joining us. Where are you joining us from today, Temidayo?
Lagos, Nigeria.
Fantastic. What time is it there at the moment?
Same time, so it's 2 minutes after 6.
Excellent. So you're sharing the UK time with us.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, no, thank you for joining us. Like I said, I'll just give a bit of a brief introduction to you, Temidayo, before I hand over to you for your session.
Okay.
So Temidayo is a Microsoft Certified Data Analyst who specializes in data analysis, business intelligence, and data science with over 2 years combined experience. He's also a Microsoft Certified Trainer, also an MCT, and he develops custom solutions in the Microsoft Suite. He enjoys making creative education content for Your Biz Edge YouTube channel, and his personal YouTube channel is Data is Fun. So with that being said, Temidayo, I think as we mentioned before coming live, this is our first session on embedding Power BI. So really interested to hear your session today.
Okay. So I'll start sharing my screen, right?
Excellent. Yes, please.
Okay.
And
So
good
just
luck.
give me.
Good
Yeah,
luck and
thank.
enjoy your session.
Yeah, thank you. So just tell me if you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen's coming
Okay.
through for us now.
Okay. So I'll start by opening my slide. Okay. So good day, everyone. Good day, good morning, wherever you are in the world. So I'm taking this section on exploring Power BI embed capabilities, right? So the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, what is Power BI embed? So Power BI embed gives you the option of either publishing your Power BI report and to an easily and secured website or to other platform, right? So also Power BI embed respects some things called role level security. So embedded report also respect all item permissions, such as data security, like role level security. So the concept of role level security has to do with like hierarchy. Okay, you're giving some people certain ability to view some kind of information in your organization. So before you start the whole Power BI embed, you have to understand the Microsoft licensing. So it's very, very important you understand the Microsoft licensing. So for Power BI, we have 3 types of license. You have the Power BI free, also have the Power BI Pro, also have the Power BI Premium per user. So I'll just be giving like what each license can do. So for the free, it has access to content in the workspace. For the Pro, you can publish content to other workspace. You can share your dashboard. You can subscribe to a dashboard. You can also report, share it to user with a pro license. While for premium per user, which is the ultimate, you can publish your content to other workspace. You can share your dashboard. You can subscribe to dashboard. You can also subscribe to reports. You can also share and do other cool stuff. Also, another feature about the Power BI free licenses, you can consume content shared with you. So any content that I share with you, you can also consume it, right? So for the pro, you can distribute content to user who have a free license. While for the premium, you can distribute content to both pro and free users. So I'll talk about the organizational benefits of using the Microsoft Embed feature, right? So it helps you to easily integrate a solution into an existing custom platform, but into an existing custom portal with advanced reporting tools such as SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft PowerPoint, which just came out recently, and also other platforms. So the idea of Power BI Embed helps you to easily integrate your report to different Microsoft services. Another advantage is also it improves security by making use of row-level security, which filters data based on credentials. So I can it's more like creating like a block hole. Like, okay, you can't view certain information if you don't have certain kinds of credential, right? So that's one of the advantage of the Power BI Embed. Also, another one it talks about. So for the Power BI license, for Power BI license, you don't require a Power BI license to view when you publish to a web. So the concept is when you publish in Power BI, you have two options, right? When you're embedding a code, you have either publishing to web, which is usually public, or you can also publish as a website or portal. So I'll explain both of them when we start the practice proper. And one cool thing again is about it provides real-time updates to your dashboard and to make quick decisions. So I did a personal experience and research, and it was very, very awesome. So Power BI, whenever you make changes on your dashboard, that's your Power BI web service, it's and you've embedded it, automatically reflects real time. So it makes it very, very easy to use. So our main focus of today, our point of focus today, we'll be talking about how to create a workspace, right? Because you definitely need a workspace to start your embedding feature in Power BI. Also, be showing you how to publish your app from your desktop to your Power BI service. And also be showing you how to embed a code. So for Power BI, usually most people don't know, but Power BI is split in three places, right? We have the Power BI mobile, we have the Power BI desktop, we also have the Power BI service, which the people call it Power BI online. So I'll just do a little bit of this comparison between the Power BI web service and also the Power BI website. But you can also call website or portal. You can call for the web, or you can say it's usually public. So let me just give you like some key features about the Power BI when you publish to the web. Reports are usually public, right? So everyone can see it. So everyone can see your information. It's not like, so for you to publish to the web, Microsoft will ask you, are you really sure you have to publish to a web, right? Because it's usually public. So logins are not required. Since something is public, definitely you don't need to log in to view the information. And some other features about the publish to web is you can easily embed interactive Power BI content to a blog, website, email, or social media, right? You can easily edit, update, refresh, and stop sharing your published visual. We publish to web, you can use filters on the report. You need to have a pro license. So I'll just give you some brief description about it's more like the opposite of publish to web. So for publish to website or portal, it's more like the opposite of publish to web. So for publish to web or web, so sorry, for publish to a website or portal, reports are usually private. So these are more like organizational reports. You don't want people to see, only people in your organization, right? Logins are required. So most times you need a login to actually view the report itself. So some of the key features of publish to a website is user who have access to Workspace can easily see the report. So you have to have an access to Workspace, and also it's mainly for organization. We publish to web, you can easily filter. So for today's talk, these are all the things we'll be covering. So I also want to give you a note. So whenever you're publishing to a web, that's when if you're pushing to a web. So web are usually free, right? Public. So whenever you're publishing to a web, always make sure you don't publish sensitive information like your sales data, your management data, your marketing data, like sensitive information you don't want people out there to see. Because the concept is that if you publish to web, that's public. If anyone has the URL, because Microsoft Power BI will generate the embedded code for you. So if anyone has the code, they can easily view the report. So, but if you publish to like a website or portal, you need a credential, you need like a login details to like see the report itself. So these are all the things we'll be covering today. I'll be taking you on how to publish to Sharepoint, which is a collaborative tool. I also publish Power BI to Microsoft Teams. We also embed Power BI to PowerPoint. I also embed Power BI into Jupyter Notebook. I also embed Power BI into Notion and other production management tools. I also embed Power BI into an organization website. And also last, I'll also introduce you to Novel Pro, which just came out and it's actually been awesome too. So first thing, I'll go to my office.com. So I'll open my browser. I will go to office.com. Right. So before you even start publishing, the first thing you need to know how to do is you have to know how to create a workspace, right? So I'll go to Power BI. So for this session, I'll be using my developer account. So I have my company's account, but I'm not an admin. So I have to, because I want to show you using an admin account. So I have to use my developer account. So you can also open the Microsoft E5 subscription on that's more of a developer account. So let me just click on Power BI. You can go to powerbi.com. So that take a little bit of time loading. Okay. Come.
Hi everyone. It looks like we're having a couple of technical difficulties there. We're just getting
So I'm back.
I'm back.
Sorry about
Thank you very much. No problem at all.
I don't know why my internet is really messing me up right now. So what I want to do now, to go to like powerbi.com. Okay. Powerbi.com. Where is this? Just give me a sec, please. Okay, I think this one is opening. Okay. Please, can you tell me if you can still see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen coming through fine.
Okay, yeah. So sorry about that. I have to change
No problem at all. No problem.
Okay, so the thing now is, so I'm in my Power BI web service, right? So there's this place over here. We have these two places, so we can see right here. So it's more like either so the way you talk about the workspace where you do your projects, where all your projects are usually stored. So you have two kinds of workspace. You have workspace. So workspace is more like a collaboration space. So you can easily share your work with your people in your organization. And you also have my workspace. So my workspace is more like your personal workspace. That's when you don't want to share reports. You want to do your project on your own personal self. So don't mind all this. I use my developer account now. I'm doing more of my personal projects. And so I'll just click on workspace. So let us create a workspace together. So I click on, you can see this button over here. So you just click here, you say create a workspace. So you don't generate, so create a workspace. Don't take a little bit of time. My internet is really messing me up right now. Okay. Space. Create a workspace. Let me just open one of my old. Okay, let me just open one of my old workspace. I don't know why my network is really messing me up right now. It's really okay. Microsoft I'm really sorry, guys. Now this looking somewhere. I don't know what's really happening right now.
It's okay, Temidayo. No problem at all. This is the joys of virtual events.
Wow. I actually tried all of this before coming. Now the network is really messing me up right now.
I think it happens. It happens to all of us. Things break the moment we live in a session, so it's fine. Take your time.
Okay, let me try first. Let me open the report. I'm even trying to open the report now, and it's not even. This is really bad. Okay, let me try again. Okay, I think this is opening. I'm really sorry, guys. Okay,
No problem at
I was
all.
meant to show you how to create a workspace, but I don't know why it's taking time. So if I come here, let me say create a workspace. Okay, so when you open your Power BI, right, you have all these options, right? So the icon button, which are over here, right? So one of the things you need to know is that you have the file, you have the export, you have the chat with Teams, you also have get insights, you also have subscribe and edit. So if I click on now, I had to skip the part of creating a workspace because I don't know why the network is really slow right now. But let me click on file now. So when you come to file, you have some options here, right? You can save a copy, you can download your file, you can manage permission, you can print as a page, you can also embed reports. So this is what you come to. So usually you have two options. You have some different options here, right? You can embed to what SharePoint online. You can embed as a website. That's a website or portal. You can also publish to web and you can create a developer account. So, but first of all, I want to show you how to embed to SharePoint. So I click on creating a code. So this is my SharePoint code, right? So I copy this. I'll have to go back to my Power BI, my office.com. I'll open my SharePoint now. So open my SharePoint. So for SharePoint, one of the things you need to first do, you need to first create a site, right? So in SharePoint is more like a collaborative tool. So you have two options. Either you can create a Teams site, or you can also create a communication site, right? So I've already created. So if you want to create a site, you just come here and click on create. It's open two options for you. Now here. So I have two options here, right? So I have my communication site, which is here. I also have my team site. So you can also read more about the documentation to know better about it. But since I've already created a site already, I don't want to just waste more time about it. So I'll just click on the site I've created, which is Andy Jazz. So it's going to open, right? So next thing, when you've created your site, you've opened it, this is how your site will be showing. This is like a default environment. What I need to do now, you can see this new over here, right? I need to create a new page, right? So I click on this new, which is here. So you can see I can create a list. So you call it SharePoint list. That's for some of you that like you most times when I use SharePoint list, when I'm trying to connect, I'm populating data I get from my Power BI, I'm populating data directly into my SharePoint list. So you can also create documents, but for this one, we're using a page. So I click on page, which is over here. So you can use visual different. So let's just use a blank page for now. I do create, so it's gonna work. It's gonna create a blank page for me. So I must go to one of the icons. So you can see this button. Let me just click on one of these plus button. You can see Power BI. I'll click on the Power BI. It's going to open now. Okay, so it's asking me now to add a report. I'll click on add a report. I'll paste the code which I copied from my Power BI service over here. It's going to load, it's going to take time. So let's wait. So just give some minutes. Well, add reports. Added report. So my network is really not on my site today. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. So when you click on add reports, you can delete all of this. Let me go back to my copy this again. Select file, embed reports, SharePoint online, copy, go back to my SharePoint, which is over here, add reports. I'll paste the code here, click enter. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to come up. This page is saved. Okay. So it's meant to like reload and show me the information over here. It's going to show me the information over here, but it's taking time. I don't know why it's taking time. Okay, so that's the first one, right? But I'll come back to this. I will definitely come back to this. I don't know why the network is taking time, right? It's really taking time to load. Okay. Okay. But the next thing now is let's look at the so next thing I'm meant to do now is embed to Microsoft Teams. So I have to open my Microsoft Teams. Right, I'll open my Microsoft Teams now. So Teams is more like the Google. So from here now, right? You can see these 3 dots over here. Right? You can see these 3 dots over here. I'll click on these 3 dots over here. I'll search for Power BI. I see Power BI here. I click on Power BI. So I'll click add Power BI. So it's going to add Power BI now. So now what this does is that it gives me the same experience, the same Power BI experience I have on my Power BI online. I'm going to have it right here on my Microsoft Teams. So just waiting for it to load. Let me check this. This hasn't still loaded. Oh, this is really, really bad. This is really bad. Wow. Okay. Just give me a sec. Wow. Okay.
Temidayo, just to jump in, you can try to clear the cache within Edge and see if that helps at all. If not outside of that, then I'm happy to continue. Like I say, these things can happen in terms of network on a live stream.
It's, I don't know. All right, let me just try. Let me try something first. Okay, let me try something. It's kind of very embarrassing, but let me just try something and bring something else here. So let me try closing all this. Okay. My SharePoint again. Sorry. .com. SharePoint. Okay, so my the site I created is going to open. So let me check if this is up. This is not even up, right? So I don't know why the network is really lagging right now. So what I'm meant to happen here is that when I click on this Power BI, it's meant to come out, like it's meant to show real time, like, and I'll have the same experience, the same feeling I have on my Power BI service. I'm having the same feeling on my SharePoint here, but I don't know why it's not coming up right now. But let's check this again. Let me try creating a page again. Pray this works this time around. Create a page. I may click on this Power BI. So let me come here. Let me embed. Go to embed SharePoint. I copy this. I go back to SharePoint. I'm going to paste the code, which is meant to be here. I'll paste the code here. Paste it. I'll click on enter. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to come up. So let's just continue. So from here now, I'm going to show you how to embed on your PowerPoint, right? So I want to embed my Power BI report inside my PowerPoint. So I come to embed. So there's another place here called export, right? So if you come to export, you can see the PowerPoint. I can embed as an image. I can also embed as a live data, right? So if I click on embed as a live data, so it's going to generate some code from me. I'm coming. So it's going to generate a URL code. So let me just open my PowerPoint. So I click on new. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. Let me go to, so for you to get the Power BI experience, for some of you that are into like project management, you want to like present you want to like a presentation of your PowerPoint inside of your Power BI inside of your PowerPoint. So I'll show you how to embed it. So you go to insert, right? So from insert, you go to add-ins. So you can see these add-ins, get add-ins. So once you go to get add-ins, this will open. I don't even know why this is taking time. Wait, let me just try something. Let me try switching my network, please. So Leon.
Hi, Temidayo.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, I just switched my network. So let me try again. So you search for Power BI.
Excellent.
I'm very sorry, guys. I'm very, very sorry, guys.
Temidayo, like I say, don't worry. These things happen. It's a very interesting session, so continue at your own pace.
So this is the Power BI. So when you go to your add-ins, for some of you that are using Office 360, 365 account, or you're using a higher version, so you see add-ins here, right? So I already installed it already before. So I just come to my insert. You can see my add-ins, right? So I'll come to you can see my Power BI here, right? So I open my Power BI. So it's going to open, and so it's going to ask me to paste my URL code. So I'll go back to my Power BI, this one here, right? I'll copy this URL code, which is over here. I'll come here and I'll paste it inside here. I click on insert. Voila. And it's going to come out now. You can see. Okay, I think now change the network is getting better right now. Okay. Oh, yeah, awesome. So, and the cool thing about this now, this is how you embed your Power BI report inside of your PowerPoint. So, and the cool thing about it is also interactive. I can also select some of my slicers. It works with it. Select different slicers. You can see how interactive this is. So this is what I'm embedding. I'm embedding my Power BI report inside of my PowerPoint. So let me go back to my SharePoint. Let me check if it is up again. I think it should be better now. So let me check my SharePoint. Yep. Okay. So I will come here. I'll delete all of this. Come back here. I'll go to File. Go to Embed SharePoint. I'll copy this URL. Come back to SharePoint. I'll paste the code here. Click on Enter. So this should come out. I don't know why it's taking time. Okay, so let's still see for my Microsoft Teams if this is out. So let me uninstall. I will install it again. I will uninstall. So let's start again. So if I come to these 3 dots over here, it means more, right? So that means like I'm adding more apps. So I'll search for my Power BI. You can see Power BI, right? I'll click on this and I'll click on Add. So this is going to add my Power BI inside of my Teams. Okay, yeah, it's coming up now. Awesome. So let's wait. Yeah, awesome. So this gives you the same feeling. This gives you the same experience of what I had on my Power BI service. You can see this is my Power BI service over here, right? So the same feeling of my Power BI service is also what I'm having on my Microsoft Teams. So I'm having the same feeling right here. So let's go to my workspace. So if I go to workspaces, right? Let me go to Onyx data. Right. So this is my Onyx data, right? So I can see the reports. The same experience I have on my Power BI service, I'm going to also have the same experience on my Power BI on my Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams is more for like organization calling and everything and setting up meetings. So if I can do the same, I can also embed also from Microsoft Teams. I have the same embedding features. Everything I need is also here. And if you're saying, okay, I'm not really satisfied because of my Microsoft Teams doesn't really give me the whole capability, I can also click on this. You can see this globe sign over here, right? If I click on this globe sign over here, it takes me back to my Power BI service. So if I click here now, you can see it's going to take me back to Power BI service. So it gives me the same experience, the same feeling, real time. So I've shown you how to embed for PowerPoint. I've shown you how to embed for Microsoft Teams. For the SharePoint, I don't know why the SharePoint is not coming up. I don't know why it's not coming up. So let's continue. So the next one I will do now, I'm going to show you how to embed your Power BI report inside of your Jupyter notebook. So for some of you that are programmer, so I came from a data science background. So I was a core machine learning data science guy. I was into neural network and deep learning. Before I later came into data analytics. And so what I need to do, I'll open my Jupyter notebook. So I'll go to Jupyter. So I'll look for my Jupyter notebook here. So I'll open my Jupyter notebook. Sorry. So my Jupyter notebook. Okay. So Jupyter notebook is just more like a notebook, more like an IDE, like you write your Python codes and everything. So I go to my documents, which is over here. So let me just open where the file is. So my Python script. So I think this is it. Yeah. So this is it. So for some of you that might be interested in going along, let me just open my GitHub. So I'll send you the GitHub link. So you can just go to GitHub. I'll open the repo for you. So I have a repo on it. So let me just check my. Leon, is there a place I can put a chat?
That's fine. It's no problem at all. I can share it. We shared it at the beginning of the session, but I can definitely share it again for you now.
Okay, so this GitHub, there's the link. So I don't know. I'll put it now. So there's a link you can just paste. Let's see. Do you have access to comments or chats? Let me just send it. So you can just send it to the community and you should try it. So for some of you that might be interested, you can also like copy the repo. So I've given a detailed explanation on how you go about it. So let's just start. So if I come here, right? So one of the first things I have to install my Power BI client, right? So it's more like I'm doing a pip install. So you can open my Anaconda. So for some of you that are programmers, so I want to show you how to embed your Power BI report inside of your Jupyter notebook. So you can also go like pip, install the Power BI client, right? So you say Power BI client. So you can just do that and you install it. But since I've already installed it already, I didn't to do that because you'll be like I'm wasting time. So this first thing you do, you can also install it right inside of your Jupyter notebook. So this is what you do first. So after that, so I have to import the necessary library. So I'll just control. So I press Shift Enter. So Shift Enter is to run, right? So now it's asking, the next is asking me for my group ID and my report ID. So I need to get my group ID. So the group ID is gotten from my workspace report. So this is the group ID here. This is the group ID. And here is also the report ID. This is the report ID which I need over here. What I'll do now, I'll open a notepad. I'll open my notepad so to make it easier to do. So I'll open my notepad. Let's say the first one will be group. So I'll say group, right? Group. So I'll just copy the ID, which is here. So this is my group ID. You can see what I'm doing, right? I'll just copy all of this. I copy. I will make it bigger. I'll paste it. So the next one will be reports. So my report ID. So my report ID is this one over here, right? Copy all of this. Copy this. I'll also paste it inside here. So what I want to do now, I'll go back to my Jupyter notebook. So I'll put for my group ID now, I'll put the group ID, which is this is the group ID. I'll copy this now. I'll paste it inside. And for my report ID, I'll copy this also. And I also what paste it inside there. So I have to do what run it. I'll run it. So I have to do some authentication, right? So there's something they call Azure cross-platform authentication. So I've written the code here, so I don't start writing code from scratch because I have like an hour presentation. So I was Shift Enter to run this. So now it's going to ask me to log in. So I have a code here, right? I'll just copy this code over here. You see code I'm copying. I'll click on this button here. This button which is over here. So I'll click on this. It's going to open another tab for me. So I'll paste the code inside there. So I'll switch accounts. I'm using my developer account straight away. Let's try good. I have so many developer accounts. Let's try this the right one. Let's say, okay. I'll just log in all my credentials. Okay. Then so it's gonna send me an approved message through my. You have to have your Microsoft authentication to approve this. So I'll open my Microsoft authentication app. So I'll click on approve comment. So I'll approve. So I've approved now. So I have to approve it now. So the next thing, I'll go continue. So I'll go back to my. So it has loaded, right? So this I want to now I will not generate the report. So I have to Shift Enter. So you watch this now. So what's going to happen now? Okay. Yeah. I was thinking it's not going to work. Okay. So now you can see now I have what I did now. I've already embedded my Power BI report inside of my Jupyter notebook, right? So you can see I have all the same feeling, all the same flexibility. I can also click on some slicers. Yeah, I can click on slicers. I can interact with the report from what? From my Jupyter notebook. So that's how you embed your Power BI report inside of your Jupyter notebook. So the next one I'll be showing you guys. Let me check which one is the next one. I've done for SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, PowerPoint. Okay, so yeah, I've done for PowerPoint, Jupyter notebook. So the next one, let me show you how to embed your Power BI inside of your company website. So for you to embed inside of your company website or any WordPress website, so for you to embed inside of any so embed inside of WordPress. So we're using WordPress for this now. So you need two things, right? You need to install two plugins. So you need to have iframe, and you also need to have Embed. So it's something called Embed. So these are the two plugins we'll be using to do this. So what I'll do now, go to my company. For some of you now, you might not have your this now. This is where I will now use the publish to a website because I don't want anyone. Let's take for instance, I'm publishing I'm publishing a Power BI report into a website, right? I want the website to be like a company, an in-house kind of thing, right? An in-house kind of reporting. I really want people that is in my organization to see this. I don't want everybody to see this. So what I need to do now is I will go to let me go to let's go to a website. I'm going to use this one. So let's just open. So I'll go to a website. So this is open. Let me still check if my SharePoint is back. Okay, it's still not back. Okay, so this now is open, right? So what I want to do now to like, so this is just like a normal website, right? So I'm showing you how to embed your Power BI report inside of a website, inside of a WordPress website. So I'll click on Edit Posts. So remember, I told you before you can do this, you need to have 2 plugins already installed inside your website or any website you use. You need to have your iframe, also you need to have your embed plugin. So you just click on Edit. So you take to the editing mode. I've not actually tried this using Medium, but I don't know. I've not tried using Medium. So I think I'll try using Medium. So I'll just go to and let me just put it here. It's not something I need to make it very serious. So I'll go back to my Power BI. I'll go to my embed code. So you can do website or portal. You know, website or portal are usually private, or you can also do publish to web, which is also public. So let's do public to web. Let's do publish to web. So I have this over here, right? So what I need to do now is I also write some little bit of code. And another cool thing is that when you're publishing to web, so Microsoft gives you 2 options, right? It gives you the iframe, but it's iframe for an HTML code. But since WordPress is more like a WordPress backend is a PHP, so I'll need to use an embed for this. So you can also publish. You know how to publish as an app, right? So what I need to do now, open my notepad. I think I have a notepad on iPhone. Okay. So you can see my screen very well. Let me just zoom in. Right. So you just need 2 things. 3 things actually. You need a source. So the source, right? So the source is usually the embedded code you get from the embedded code you get from your Power BI. You also need your width. So you need your width and your height, right? So what I need to do now, go back to my Power BI, which is over here. I'll copy this, right? I'll go back to my notepad. You can see this source. So I have my iframe source, my width. I set my width to 100%. I also set my height towards 500. So I'll just paste it in between this apostrophe. Yeah. You can see, right? Just delete this. I don't need this anymore. So what I have to do now is just select or copy this, right? I'll go back to this is my WordPress account, right? I'll now paste the code inside here. I've pasted it. Why this is showing? Because I've already installed. Now you can see this box over here. Now it's showing what's shortcut code. Because why is this working? Because I've already installed. I've installed the 2 plugins which I needed. I've installed the iframe plugins. I've also installed the embed plugins, right? So that's why it is showing right now. So what I need to do now is just after I've pasted this, I just click on update. Just going to take a little bit of time to update. Okay, yeah, it has updated, right? So I'll click on preview. I'll go to preview in a new website, so in a new tab. So just give it a minute. It's coming up. Give it a minute. It's coming up. Wait, it's come up. Okay. Yep. So it's up. So let me just scroll down and look for it. So I think this is just a random article I wrote on SQL. So okay, yeah. So you can see now, right? So this is my website now. What I do, I actually embedded my Power BI report inside of my website. So that's another cool thing. You can embed your Power BI report inside of your website. But most times when you're embedding inside your website, it's always advisable to know that for a website, right? If you're putting it in a website, everybody can see it. So you have to be sure that, okay, am I publishing what for public, or if you want to do something that's going to be for only your organization use, right? You cannot do, okay, am I publishing for what? For a website or portal. So those are usually private. You need like a login to access this. So after you can see that now this is showing, right? So I still have the same feeling, the same experience, the same slicers experience, the same everything is still working. Like it's just like it's not like I'm also inside my Power BI. So the same feeling is still working inside there. That's how cool this is, right? So everything. So this is some of the things you can do. Also, let me also show you how to do it. I want to show you also how to embed inside Notion. So I use Notion a lot. So before we start, I use Notion for my production tools and everything. It's more like a management tool for me. So it's most of my ideas are usually on Notion. So I just open a blank, right? So this is just a blank article I wrote. So what I need to do now is I'll go back to that my Power BI also again. Let me copy this link also. I'll copy this, right? So I'll come here. I'll paste this. It's also going to actually like, right? I have two options, right? I can also create an embed, right? I'll create an embed here. So it's going to embed it for me. Now it's going to embed. So now what you see now, you can see that I have the same experience of my what? My Notion. Sorry, I have the same experience of my Power BI inside of Notion. But most times, I don't know if I'm not showing the different possibilities, different things, different ways you can embed what your Power BI. So you can embed it inside your PowerPoint, inside Microsoft Teams. You can also embed it inside what Jupyter Notebook, which I already showed you here. There are so many features you can do. You can see I have it inside my Jupyter Notebook. I also have it inside, and then funny enough, this is the same report. That's so Microsoft are really doing some awesome thing, right? This is the same report. I've embedded it inside of my what? My Jupyter Notebook. This is for Python users and Python developers and rest. I've also embedded the same thing inside my what? My Notion. My Notion. I use Notion for my production and project tracking too. I've also embedded it inside my what? My WordPress site. This is the same report I've embedded inside my WordPress site. I've also embedded it inside my PowerPoint. If you see my PowerPoint, which let me just do PowerPoint again because of the network was really breaking the other time. Let me just do it again because of some of it I didn't see it. I go back to my Workspace, which is over here, right? If I go to export, you can see I have two options to export. I have export as an image. So if I export as an image, it's going to export just like a plain image. If I click on export as an image, right? So current value, export, only export current page, okay? So what it's going to do now, it's going to convert this whole report as just like a PNG file or a JPEG file. It's just be only a picture. So it's export, so it's converting it for me over here. If you look at it over here, it's converting it for me. You can see. So when it's finished convert, it's going to like open it for me as a picture format. So apart from that, you can also embed. It's taking time. Let's just see. So for export again, I can also embed as what? As a live link. So this is one where I'm trying to like create something that's more interactive. So if I click on embed as a live link, yeah, okay, now this worked this time around. You can see the other time. This is the what? The URL code. Okay. So now it has embedded. Now the first one has worked, right? This is the first one embed as a what? As an image. So if I click on this, if I open it now, you're gonna see something now. Okay. Let me come here. You can see that this is just a JPEG file, or you can say a PNG file. It's not really interactive. It's not okay. Let me enable editing. Let me just delete the first one. Let me reduce this a little bit. You can see this is not really interactive. It's just showing you, okay, this is just a picture file. I can't click on any slicer or anything. So there's another option in your Power BI services, right? So you have another one to embed live. So embedding live is also the same thing. When I got an add-in of Power BI. So if you can see the link here, right? If I copy this link, I can do it from Power BI. I can also do, if I've copied the link here, right? That's the URL link. It's still the same link. This link here is also the same thing as what is over here. You can see my screen, right? As what is over here. So they're basically the same thing, right? These two are the same thing. These two are the same thing. They're basically the same thing. So I've copied this, right? So if I can also open it directly from here. So I click on open the Power BI reports. So it's going to open it in my Power BI report. So let's see. Okay, this will not work. Do you know why it won't work? This is my company's account. So my default Power BI is usually my company's account. So if I switch, let me just switch. Okay, let me switch. Let me just use another one. So let me just close this. This is my company's default account. Sorry about that. I've forgotten. So let me just open a new. Let me start a blank sheet, right? So from here, right, I go back to insert because my network was breaking. So I have to really explain this part again. I go to insert, right? I go to add-ins, get add-ins. So I'll search for add-ins. I'll search for Power BI. So I search Power BI, right? So I click on search. So this is available for people that are using Office 365 account, right? So from the search, you can see we have two Power BI. So this was the one that was mostly used before this Power BI tiles, but you needed to like purchase it and everything. So most time, if you don't purchase, it's going to give like a watermark on your reports. We also have your Power BI, your normal Power BI. So this is the Power BI I need, right? So I just click on what add, and that's all. You click on OK. But since I've already added it, it's already okay. Click on add. Okay, so let me still change. This is still my company's account. Let me switch. Okay, yeah. Let me switch to this. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this is my developer account. So because if I've done that, it won't work because of the report. The report I embedded was my developer account, and this is my office, my company's account. So this won't work. So let me just. So if I go to my add-ins, right? These are the add-ins I've already installed inside of my my PowerPoint. So you can see I have two add-ins here, right? I have the Power BI tiles. I also have the Power BI report. So my add-ins, I'll click on Power BI reports again. You remember the URL link I copied, so it's just going to come up. It's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, let's just wait. It's loading. But this when it comes out, what I want to do now is, so we cannot load your add-in. Okay, let's try. Let me refresh again. I think there's a network issue now. Okay. Okay, let me try. Let's try do the manual. Let's try and import. So let's say Power BI. Click on add-ins. I'm actually looking at the time. I see I'll quickly finish this before time for questions and answers. So when you get the whole concept, when this comes out, what you also need to do now is, maybe because I have it already opened here. Okay, let me try it. Let me try something again. Let me close this. I'll open my PowerPoint again. Okay, I have PowerPoint inside here. So let me just come here. New. Let me use a blank. Insert. Get my add-ins. Power BI add-ins. Yeah, okay, now it's working. Maybe because I've already opened it before. So you can see it's asking me to paste the URL code. So if I go back to my Power BI embed, right? For Sharepoint. So if I go back to my Power BI online, you can see the Power BI for PowerPoint. You can see the embed live data, right? So this embed live. I can copy this URL code. You can see the URL code. I can copy this, or I can also copy this one down up here. So anyone you prefer copying, both works the same way. Both are actually the same thing. So I come back here. I'll do what? I'll paste it inside there. It's showing me insert. I click on insert, and it's going to come out. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, voila. So that's cool. That's how fast it is. So lastly, the last one I want to show you is where's my presentation tab, my PowerPoint. So last one I want to show you is for Novel Pro. Novel Pro is one of the is an amazing tool that was came out. So it's one of the new if I go to Novel Pro, it's more like a portfolio for BI users, right? So it's a very, very awesome tool to use. I'll just show you the interface. I'm not going to present anything. I'll show you the interface. So let me just log in. So for some of you that you might want to like do a portfolio for yourself using Power BI and you don't really know how to create a portfolio. Which account should I use now? Okay, let me use this. So you don't know how to create like a portfolio for yourself, right? So Novel Pro is like the best place to go. So you can create like your own portfolio, and it's very easy. It's an easy to use tool, very easy to use. And the same way so I did it, I'll just come here again. I'll go to my Power BI. This same embed code I have down here. If I go to my file, I see embed report. I just copy but for Novel Pro, you always note this when you are embedding, when you're copying your code into a Novel Pro, you must copy what publish to web public. So you have to use this one most of the time. You don't use your portal. So if I do publish to web public, right? I'll copy this code. So I just do like a simple prototype. I'm not see if at this time. I think I have like 2 more minutes. Let me just click this. Let us try if I can import link. So let us import the link. So you'd have put your designs, you put your report name, your cover, your report link, overview, your tag. Let me just show you. So if I paste this link inside there, right? Yeah. So this should pop out. You can see this will pop out. So the report is going to pop out. It's going to pop out real time. And let's see, let's wait. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to pop out. IP not found. Okay, let me check. I can copy this again. Okay, okay, this one didn't load now. It didn't load. Okay. So let me try it again. So file, embed to public. Just wait. Let me wait for it to load first. Okay, yeah, it has loaded. So if I copy this again, I'll go to my Novel Pro again. I'll select all of these, delete. Again, let's see. Yeah. So it's gonna come out now. So this is another way. And this one helps you to build your portfolio as a Power BI developer. And one awesome thing about Novel Pro, so they give out free Power Power BI account. So they give you free, no, for if you don't have for you to have a Power BI account, you either have an E5 as a Microsoft developer account, or you're working for an organization that paying for Office 365 account, right? But if you don't have that, if you're a student and you're learning, or you just want to build your portfolio, Nova Pro gives you up to open. It gives you a free access, like it gives you a free link to create a Power BI account for free. And that's one awesome thing about it. So I'll also talk about the two last thing I'll talk about, which is after this, after I've explained how to embed your Power BI into SharePoint, but my SharePoint, I don't know why SharePoint didn't work. So I've explained how to embed into Microsoft Teams. I've explained how to embed into PowerPoint, how to embed into Jupyter Notebook, how to embed into Notion for production. Also, I've also explained how to embed into your organization website, like your WordPress sites. And also I've introduced you guys to Novell Pro. So there's another one again. So they call this one Power BI Embed Analytics. So this one is more advanced. This one you need things like your Azure. You need to have knowledge about Azure and everything. So, but this one is more advanced. So, I think I'm done. So, thank you guys. So, that's all. That's all. So, if you have any question, I'm down for question now. So, Leon, over to you.
Temidayo, thank you very much for that session. Like we say, it sometimes happens where the demo gods get involved. But like we say, we brought it back, and I think that the information that you shared within that session is absolutely fantastic. There's a plethora of ways.
That was amazing. I was planning to try that PowerPoint embedding, and I just tried it while you were going through it in the session. Yeah, it works pretty well, and that live one is pretty cool actually. And I love the Teams embedding that you just told, because I think that's one of the key things.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think that what we should do in the future as well, Temidayo, would be to have you back with us and spend a bit more time exploring in terms of the embedding as well, because there's so many options available from a Power BI perspective, and there's so much goodness. We do have some questions coming in. As we mentioned, we have one question coming in from Praise Williams, and she mentions that she recently hosted or published a report to the web, but the filter pane did not show. Is there a way around it?
Okay, so for the filter pane, right? Most times it depends on tool. So when I was explaining the licensing, right? So if you have there's a difference between if you have a pro license and you also have a pro license and you also have a premium license. So there are some reports that if you're using a pro license, the filter doesn't show. But I've not really had the experience. Most of my time, all my filter shows because I'm using I'm using a developer account. So most time everything shows. So it has to do with our licensing. So she can check our licensing also.
Excellent, thank you. Our next question comes in from Idris, and they ask, do you need a pro license to be able to use the embed features, especially for website?
Yes. So for you to embed, you need a pro license or a premium per user license, right? So I was also talking about Novell Pro. Novell Pro also gives free Power BI license if you have the money, or if you have a developer account, you can use Novell Pro. But you need a license, you need a pro license or a premium per user license to embed.
Excellent, thank you. And we have this question from Santiago. This is probably another session within itself as well. How to embed Power BI apps?
I've not really tried. I've done it once, but it's more glitchy. I've still have to practice on it. I can't just really explain it right now. So I'll do a video on it. But I've done it before, but I don't really. So when you talk about Power BI apps, is it like building like Power BI apps itself? Like, not as a place when you create a template app. Is it that kind of Power BI app is talking about?
I believe so. We'd have to ask Santiago to expand a bit on his question to go into it in a bit more detail.
Okay. Well, sir, I'll do more research on that because there's so many possibilities with Power BI.
No problem at all. And we have a question coming in from Horatio, and they ask, could this also be done with R in our Markdown? I believe this was specifically in regards to the
embedding in the Jupyter Notebook, basically.
Jupyter Notebook. Yes. Okay. Because Microsoft and Python is more like an open source, so they have a lot of developers who are bringing out new libraries every time. But I've not tried it with R before. I've always used it with Python, so I don't know about R. I'm more of a Python user, more of a Python programmer than R. But I try R more for statistics, but I've not tried it with R, so I don't know. I can't say for sure.
No problem at all. And the next question we have comes in from Harrison, and he asks, what kind of reports would organizations run?
Okay, so for organization reports now, right, it's more of like use publish to a website or portal because you don't want everyone to have access to it, right? So that's what when I did the website what I did for the WordPress, right? I did publish to what do you call it, to public. Anyone can have access to it, right? Because it's not a sensitive data. So when I was explaining, I said that if you're publishing to public or a web, always make sure you're not publishing a sensitive data like marketing data, sales price data, those kind of data. So for organization data, always publish to a website or a portal. Because for you now, you publish to a website or a portal. Now, for you to log in, right? You need to have like a credential. So what I mean by credential, let's say for instance now, I'm in your Leo organization. You two are working together, right? So Leo creates a report, right? And it does publish to what, a website or a portal. For I'm really bad with names. What's the name again? Sorry.
It's Spaghetti.
Okay.
Spaghetti. So for Spaghetti now to access the rest, I'm very sorry about that. For you now to access the report, right? You need to have your credential because both of you now are working for the same organization, right? So you guys have the same email domain. I don't know, maybe Onyx or something. You guys have the same email domain. So for you to now log in, so because you have to be under the same admin. So I don't know, maybe Leo is there. Can I show you guys something before? Shall I explain better? Can I share my screen?
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Because of the network, I had to like skip so many parts. I'm very sorry about network. So let me just share my screen again. So I'll tell you the reason why I used my developer account, because I have admin assets, right? So if I go back to my this. So if I go back to my, let me just go to office.com, right? So for office.com, right? If I was using my organization assets, I won't have something like this, the admin, because admin now shows me, okay, this is actually, I'm the owner of this tenant itself, right? Okay, which account is, okay, this is my company's account. Let me just switch. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, because it didn't show me now, so okay, this should come up. Yep. So show settings, organization settings, organization profile, data source. So I can see all these because what, I'm the admin of my organization, right? So if I also go back to if I go to my Power BI online, right? Let me just close this. Let me go to my Trello. So most times, if you are trying to embed for the first time and it doesn't work, it's telling you that, oh, you don't have the admin right. So most times, right, it's either you don't have admin right. So if I go to my settings, I go to my admin portal, right? I go to my tenant settings, right? I also scroll down to my export and sharing settings. So you can see my publish to web over here. If I click on publish to web down here, I have some. So I have to click on enable settings, right? So for the enable settings, right, for me to be able to publish, I was meant to explain this the other time, right? I got time. For me to be able to explain this, for me to be able to publish, I have to have been enabled. And also there's also another option where it shows what allow existing and a new code. So I can click on only allow existing code, also allow new codes. For applied to, so this one now shows, okay, the people that can actually publish, right? So what I did now, everybody in my organization can publish. If I click on specific security, that means I have to put some specific people in my organization to be able to embed a code and also publish. So not everyone will be able to publish. And also, if you come to embedded code here, you don't tell me all my codes are actually like, you can see that I think there's some that have stopped because this one has been blocked. This one has been blocked. You can see these ones are active. So I do some personal project for some people, but with another account. But these are just the one I use for training practice purpose. So this one has been blocked. So now if I want to embed, right? If I'm embedding for an organization, publishing for an organization, always publish as a website or portal. Please always, because you don't want to get yourself into trouble. You don't want to put sensitive information out there that people can see. So if I come back to my reports pane, if I go to my file, you can see embed here, right? Always select this one. So if I select publish website as a portal, right? What this does, that is also going to respect what they call role level security. So something they call role level security. So it gives Leon, can I still go on? Because I know that time is really going. Can I still go on? I should stop.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. We've got a couple of minutes left.
Okay, thank you very much. So there's something they call role level security, right? So role level security is just more like filters. So if I go to the cool thing about publish to website or portal, it also respects role level security. So if I copy this, right? If I go back to my Power BI, if I go to my data, this is my Power BI desktop now. This is my Power BI desktop, right? If I go to my modeling, right? I go to my manage roles. I can create a role level security from here. Role level security just basically filters. That was more of filters. So there are filters. So I can set, okay, certain people in the organization have ability to see certain information. So now, watch this now. I've published as either a website or a portal. I published it. At the same time, the report I published, I've also added role level security. So now let's take for instance, I have like 10 people in my organization, right? Those 10 people, they have access to the website. So they go to the website, and for the report I did, I only gave 4 people access to it from role level security inside of my Power BI desktop. So now 10 people in my organization, they can log into the website, but they can't, out of that 10, 6 can't see it, but 4 can see it. But the 10 of them are all working for the same company, right? But I've already created what a role less created that only 4 people from my organization can see the data itself. So that's how you use. So that's most times when you're dealing with sensitive information to embed sensitive data online. Always make sure you embed towards either a portal or a website. So I think that's all. Leo, over to you. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Excellent. Thank you, Temidayo. I think that, so the last question I'm going to pose, and it's not really a question for today's session. Sorry, actually this question from Gersh, I've already commented in the chat. So we do have a link to the GitHub with the Python script for Jupyter Notebook embedded. So Gersh, that is available in the chat already. This question coming in from Deepfi is more of a Python based question for forecasting in Power BI. Now, again, it's not really in regards to the session, and it could be a session all within itself. So, DP, what I would say is if there is an interest in forecasting using Python within Power BI, then we can look at that at a future session. I'm not too sure that using Python in Power BI is the best use case for forecasting.
No. I think it will make your this thing very slow, because I've tried writing Python scripts inside of Power BI. It's usually very, very slow. Like, but most times the Python part, it just helps for the data manipulation part, the transformation. When you have sensitive things that calculating, you also use Python.
Yeah, the key to take away here is in terms of using Python in Power BI is call a Python script as your data source, as opposed to using applied steps within Power Query. It'd be a lot more efficient. But I mean, with that being said, Temidayo, like I say, I think that's all of the questions for today's session. I think that in terms of the session, there was a large amount of information that we covered, especially with Embed in PowerPoint being relatively new, and even when Embed in Jupyter Notebooks was released, it's not a well-known feature as well. So I know that our community got a lot of information based on today's session.
Okay, I'm so sorry again about the network. Apologies.
No, that's absolutely fine. I think all of us have experienced that, so there's nothing to apologize on that. And out of that issue, you gave a tremendous session here. So yeah, I mean, you don't need to apologize.
Oh, very sorry. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Temidayo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being our co-host in today's session.
Yeah, thanks, Leon. It's always a pleasure being here, and especially learning those things, right? Like today's session was again amazing, on point.
It's the great thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every time there's something new.
Yeah, because the moment he started embedding in PowerPoint, I actually opened a PowerPoint, embedded a report in there, and I was like, yeah, it works. It works.
So exactly. So for the next presentation, we'll be expecting to see
this was a brilliant
Power BI
session.
report.
Yeah, brilliant session.
And thank you to everybody that's joined us as well from within the community. Like I say, we have put our feedback form into the chat, so please do let us know feedback in terms of today's session and sessions that you want to see in the future as well, topics that you want to see us discuss. As always, with these being virtual sessions, we are open in terms of connections, demo gods, etc. So really appreciate you all bearing with us, and also the extra pressure that puts onto the speakers. So the information that was shared today was really good. Especially with the fact that we had a few technical issues as well. As always, this session is brought to you in association with Pomerol Partners as well. So please do go over to pomerolpartners.com for all of your Power BI and ClickView training and consulting needs. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you've been here with myself and Pragati Jain at the Microsoft Power BI UK user group.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Stay safe.